welcome. Today we are going to be sewing our final pouch in my 3-part series where we sew EDC bags. Now, as you can see, this is probably the most complicated one, but it is so worth making. Definitely watch the video on through one time to see if it's something you feel comfortable doing. Or if you've never sewn with this type of fabric before, try one of those earlier tutorials and then you might feel comfortable to sew this one as well. Now, this particular pouch finishes 9 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. It does have a bit of an expanded bottom, so it gives you more space to fill this little guy up. The front pocket is smaller than the back pocket. The back pocket is of the entire height. And this EDC pouch was actually inspired by another pouch made by a company called Air. So I will definitely link to the original pouch in the description down below if you are interested in checking that one out as well. But I highly recommend that you give this one a go. I also love to add things like this S hook here, so I'm going to link to that in the description down below, and all the other items that I use for this project. Now, I did talk about fabrics and needles, sewing feet, all of that stuff in the first video of this series. I will have it linked in the description down below, so you can go check that out if you want to hear a little bit more about the actual fabrics. All right, let's jump on into this tutorial and get started. To start, you will need to cut a back piece of fabric 8.5 inches high by 10 inches wide. Then you'll need a piece of fabric for the back of your front pocket. That will be 4.5 inches high by 10 inches wide. Then for the front main pocket, you will cut one piece at 3 inches high by 8 inches wide. Then a piece that will go above the zipper at 1.5 inches high by 8 inches wide. And then a little side section for the front main pocket will be cut 4.5 inches high by 3 inches wide. Then you will need 3 scrap pieces of fabric, no smaller than 2.5 inches high by 4 inches wide. You will need zipper tape and pulls to add to your zipper tape. I find that this zipper jig is incredibly helpful. You can optionally use double-sided tape if you find your fabric very slippery and you have a hard time keeping your zipper in place. You can use some grosgrain ribbon, 1 inch wide or even a 1/2 inch wide for your loops. You can even add some D-rings or lobster claw clasps if you want to elevate it even more. I also like to use a candle, a lighter, or pinking shears, depending on the fabric that I'm using, to seal any of my frayed edges. Use clips, not pins, and I actually just used all-purpose thread and an all-purpose needle, and I found that that worked perfectly fine. Next, grab some zipper tape and cut it longer than the panel. So the panel is 8 inches wide. Give yourself about 9 inches worth of working space. Then it's time to add the zipper pull to your zipper. A little trick that I like to do is grabbing my lighter and just melting the ends of the zipper tape so that they don't fray while I'm trying to pull on the zipper pull. Try your best to get the zipper pull onto the zipper in an even fashion. However, we are putting our zipper pull on right now just in case you can't and the zipper tape always ends up crooked. That's okay, then you can adjust it on the other end. Next, it's time to add a zipper tab to the end of this zipper. Now make sure that you are adding your zipper tab to the end where when the pull is shut, it is sitting up against this zipper tab. Grab one of your scrap pieces of fabric that I mentioned should not be cut smaller than 2.5 inches by 4 inches. Fold that tab in half right sides together and give it a finger crease. Then trim up that end of the zipper itself so that it is nice and straight before tucking that zipper end on into that folded crease. Clip it in place, take it to your sewing machine and sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance across that folded end. Once that seam is sewn, then you'll fold that zipper end so the fabric is now right side face out and just finger crease along along that folded edge, clip it in place, bring it back to your sewing machine, and this time with a top stitch, you will sew across that top edge around 1/8 of an inch in from that fold, holding the fabric outwards. And now it is time to trim that little zipper end so that it is in line with your zipper tape, and trim the end so that it is 1.5 inches in length. Then we will add this zipper to our 2 panels, starting with the larger panel. So the 3-inch by 8-inch panel. Lay your zipper right side face down with the extra zipper tab to the right. Clip it in place, and it's at this point that you would use the double-sided tape to stick your zipper to that panel if you are struggling to do it without. Take this to your sewing machine and with a zipper foot, sew across that top edge. When you get to the zipper head, of course, stop, pull the zipper head out of the way, and then continue down the line. Then flip your panel so that that lining's edge is face down towards the panel itself, and give it a finger crease. Then you can bring it back to your sewing machine and with a top stitch sew across that top edge, and that will hold that seam down and away from the zipper. And now you will do the exact same steps to attach that bottom panel to that smaller panel, which is 1.5 inches high by 8 inches wide. So flip your panel over and lay it right side face down. Once again, you can use the double-sided tape for this step. Clip it in place, bring it to your sewing machine, and sew across that top edge, starting and stopping with a back stitch. Then flip your panel so that your sewn seam is facing up towards the smaller panel section. Give it a finger crease, bring it back to your sewing machine, and sew a top stitch along that top edge, holding that zipper tape and that seam up towards the panel and away from the zipper. And as you can see here, my zipper head slowly started to wiggle towards that end. So now I do have to insert a pin in here to hold that end in place, as I need to pull my zipper back towards the center. Now this next step is essentially puzzle piecing our front pocket together. So we've got our larger piece for the back, and that is 10 inches wide by 4.5 inches high. And then we've got our smaller side piece, which is 4.5 inches high by 3 inches wide. And you want your front little pocket panel to also be 4.5 inches high. It needs to match these 2 other pieces. So your panel should not be as large as mine, because I have adjusted that measurement a little bit, but I did want to show you this step just in case you find that your panel is a little bit too big still. Just measure it and trim away the bottom half. That way your front pocket measures 4.5 inches high as well. And now it is time to add that smaller 4.5 by 3 inch piece to the side of our pocket. So just lay it right side face down along that edge, and you will sew a 1/2 inch seam across that edge, starting and stopping with a back stitch. I don't trim away my zipper teeth just yet. You can if you want to. I tend to leave it there until after this step, and then I trim it away. I hope that you are enjoying this 3-part series. If you are, please give it that thumbs up, because that will let YouTube know that this is a good video, and then YouTube will share it with others. And of course, if you like beginner sewing tutorials, hit that subscribe button. And please let me know in the comments down below which version of these 3 you are interested in sewing the most. Now let's keep on sewing. And as you can see, we've got our 1/2 inch seam sewn, and now you can trim away your zipper tape if you have not done so yet. I think I hold off because I'm always afraid I'm going to mess up my zipper. Now you can open up your panel and just run your fingers across that seam, making sure that the raw edge of the seam is facing towards that small side panel. Then grab your back panel, the 10 inch by 4.5 inch piece, lay it right side face up, and then lay your small pocket panel on top and clip it in place. Make sure that that seam is still facing towards your small panel section. And once you have everything clipped neatly in place, bring it back to your sewing machine and sew a top stitch 1/4 inch seam allowance along that sewn edge. It will seal in the pocket and it will make sure that that sewn seam is facing towards that little section. Then you can also sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance around the entire outer edge, just holding everything in place. You want that to be a 1/4 inch seam allowance, that way that seam will not be shown later on. And now it is time to prepare our second zipper. I like to work with a longer zipper and then trim it down to size as I go. So I would recommend cutting your zipper at least 10 inches in length, so it is the width of our back panel. Then you will add your zipper head and one of the zipper ends to one of the ends of your zipper. You're going to do this the exact same way that we did it for our previous zipper. So fold one of those scrap ends that should be no smaller than 2.5 inches by 4 inches. Fold it right sides together, tuck your zipper end inside it, sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance across that edge. Then flip those ends out so that they are laying wrong sides together, finger crease across that edge, bring it back to your sewing machine and sew a top stitch across that top edge. Then you will trim those sides so they are in line with your zipper tape. And then finally measure that little end so that it is 1.5 inches in length, and then trim away the excess. Now we need to trim up our zipper so that it is in line with the width of our pocket panel. So grab your pocket panel, lay it across that top edge, and then measure 1.25 inches in from that outer edge and draw a marked line. This is where you will trim your zipper tape. Before trimming your zipper tape, make sure that your zipper pull is in the center and not on the side that it is getting trimmed away, and trim it to length. As you can see here, I'm just throwing a pin in that end just to make sure that my zipper tape holds together exactly where I want it. And now I'm going to do the exact same steps that I did on the other end of the zipper to add this final little zipper tab. So fold it right sides together, tuck your zipper on in, sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance along that edge, then fold it back out, sew a top stitch along that edge, and then finally trim it to size, making sure that the end is measuring 1.5 inches wide. Then you can lay it across the top edge of your panel pocket, clip it in place, bring it to your sewing machine and sew a seam allowance along that top edge using a zipper foot, of course, and starting and stopping with a back stitch. Then you will do the same thing that you did with your previous zipper. Fold that seam over so that it is facing down towards the panel. Give it a finger crease, bring it back to your sewing machine and sew a top stitch along that top edge, holding that seam nicely in place. Starting and stopping with a back stitch, of course. And now it's time to attach our front pocket panel to our main back piece. So lay them right sides together, line up that top edge, clip along that top edge, bring it to your sewing machine and sew with that zipper foot across the top edge, starting and stopping with a back stitch. Then once again, we are going to finger crease that seam so that it is away from the zipper. So it will be face up. And then you can bring it back to your sewing machine and with a top stitch, sew a seam across that top edge, holding that seam nicely in place. And now it is time to make any loops that you want to add to your pouch. I know that you're seeing the pieces separated once again, but that's because I got eager and I moved on to this step. But I really do think you need to sew all of the zippers together first, and then we can move on to the fun stuff, creating our loops. The first loop that I have here is going to be my keychain clasp. I'm using 1/2 inch grosgrain ribbon and I cut it 10 inches in length. And then I pushed it on through this little lobster claw clasp here, folded it on over, so I've lost about 1.5 inches, and I'm going to use a zigzag stitch just to seal that loop in place. For my wider loop, I'm going to use a 1-inch grosgrain ribbon with some reflectiveness down the center. I will cut that 3 inches in length and then fold it in half. I also want a longer, thinner loop, so I'm going back to that 1/2-inch grosgrain ribbon, and I'm going to cut that around 5 inches in length. And I like to seal all of the edges with my lighter. And now it's time to find the perfect placement for our loops. Now, I thought a great idea would be to have my loops a little bit lower so that I would be avoiding extra bulk in my seam. Later on, I actually chose to do a simpler method. Line up your loops with the top zipper. It will look the best, as you can see in this photo here when I did this another time. I definitely prefer my loops lined up with that zipper, but you of course can put your loops wherever you want. Just make sure of course that they are facing within your panel, and you can just line them with that edge. Take it to your sewing machine and with a 1/4-inch seam allowance, just stitch those loops in place. Next, we want to figure out where to put our keychain loop. So fold your panel wrong sides together and give yourself a 1/2 inch above that top zipper. Then you can open it up and measure 2.5 inches down from that top fold, and you can lay your keychain in place. You really just don't want to have a very bulky side seam, so you don't want it lined up with the loops that you've already sewn. Clip it in place and sew a 1/4-inch seam allowance across that edge. Now, before moving on to the next step, make sure that your top zipper, the one that will go into the big pouch, is open at least halfway. You will need it open so that you can turn your project right side out later on. Then take your panel and fold it right sides together, lining up that bottom edge. Clip it in place, and then take it to your sewing machine and sew a 1/4-inch seam allowance along that bottom edge. Start and stop with a backstitch. Now it's at this point that I would seal in that bottom edge if you find that you're working with a fabric that's fraying a lot more. Once again, I like to use a lighter or a candle for this. Of course, do that at your own risk. If you want, you could use some pinking shears, but if you are going to use some pinking shears, then you might want to give yourself a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to leave that up to you, but I find sealing with a candle to work great for my needs. Next, roll that top edge so you have 1/2 inch of fabric sticking up past that top zipper, and clip along that top edge. That way that fold will stay in place at that 1/2 inch mark. Then along that bottom seam, give it a finger crease. That way the seam is actually facing up towards the center of the panel. Then you will take that bottom fold and fold it up and over that seam. So you are using that seam as your guide to fold up and over. So the seam is essentially at the bottom's edge of your pouch. Then clip along both side edges, and with that keychain, just clip it into the center so you don't end up sewing over it by accident. Take this to your sewing machine and sew a 1/2 inch seam allowance along both side edges. Start and stop with a backstitch. Then, if you'd prefer, you can trim those side edges with a pair of pinking shears. For myself, I'd prefer just to trim away the excess bulk so that I have about a 1/4 inch sticking out past that final seam. And then I will seal those edges once again with a lighter or a candle. And then turn your project right side out, gently pushing out those corners. And on that bottom's edge, you can either give those folds a finger crease, or if you're comfortable using an iron on a very low heat, depending on the fabric that you're using, you may even be able to press those folds so that they are nicely creased. And that is the end of our 3-part series where I taught you how you could make some fun EDC bags. I hope that you enjoyed this little series. Let me know in the comments down below, of course, which pouch you are interested in sewing the most, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.